We're learning more tonight about the dark and final days of legendary superstar Whitney Houston. Her ex-husband, Bobby Brown, revealing new and intimate details of the couple's turbulent marriage, including their drug abuse. And Brown is pointing fingers tonight about the tragic loss of his daughter, Bobbi Kristina. ABC's Robin Roberts has the exclusive conversation.
It was that song and the movie, The Bodyguard, that propelled Whitney Houston from superstar singer to bona fide Hollywood movie star. But in the years after, Whitney battled addiction, the public witnessing her erratic behavior on that reality show.
Lord, I just want to be a real person.
And that amazing voice, not what it once was. At the center of it all, Bobby Brown, father to her only daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who tragically also passed away 3 years after her famous mother.
If I could get those 2 days back.
Tonight, Bobby Brown speaking out about the women he loved and lost.
I still loved her. I still loved her.
Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston were a seemingly unlikely pair. She was the reigning pop princess girl next door. And he was the bad boy of R&B.
When you find love, you find it. I mean, it finds you, I should say. Between me and her, it was so instant. We were so much like each other that it made sense.
They married in 1992.
Now, you broke tradition a little bit and saw her before the wedding.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the first time I had actually saw her do drugs.
Cocaine.
Yes, ma'am.
Bobby says in his upcoming book, Every Little Step, he found his bride to be, quote, hunched over a bureau, snorting a line of coke. He says she offered him a hit, but he didn't indulge at that moment.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
The drugs wasn't her. She did drugs, but the drugs didn't do her. She knew how to handle herself. It only made me, love her and want to protect her more.
People said to me, the one thing that they heard over and over again, that you were the one that led Whitney to heavy drug use.
Well,
that you were the one.
It wasn't me. It started her. I take my part, and I take it hard for me even being a part of it. But we all have our own minds.
In public, the young couple glowed with promise at the Bodyguard movie premiere. And more good news. In March 1993, Bobby and Whitney welcomed their precious baby girl, Bobbi Kristina Brown, into the spotlight.
This is love, and I think love
But their happy home life wasn't all it seemed. Bobby Brown had multiple arrests, ranging from marijuana possession to drunk driving and various parole violations. But Whitney stood by her man, even recording a duet. They also shared escalating drug use. Bobby says they would lock themselves in one wing of the house getting high, while daughter Bobbi Kristina was cared for by nannies.
Did you ever do it in front of her?
No, never.
But she probably had to know.
Never. I always made it a point to not let her see me or my wife in that type of situation. I mean, it's hard when you're doing it every day.
But the world was beginning to take notice.
All right.
Boom! At a certain point, when you're using drugs, you don't know that the outside people that are seeing you. I mean,
people remember vividly my colleague and friend, Diane Sawyer. Crack is whack.
Wow.
Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
People cannot let that go.
Diane Sawyer, love her. Just bad timing. We both needed to get away from what we were doing. There was no reason for her to be on television at that time.
But she didn't get away from the cameras. The opposite, in fact. Whitney Houston started appearing on her husband's reality show, Being Bobby Brown, along with their daughter, Bobbi Kristina, exposing her to the harsh glare of the spotlight.
You said that you felt that as parents, you and Whitney failed Bobbi Kris.
We should have been better. We could have been better. At such a young age for us both to have any and everything that we wanted was a blessing and a curse.
A curse because money for drugs was never a problem for the couple. In his book, Bobby Brown admits to abusing cocaine, marijuana, and heroin in addition to alcohol.
When was the drug use at its height with you and Whitney?
The last few years of our marriage, it was terrible. Both of us, trying to be clean, and one of us trying to be clean and the other one don't want to be clean, and it's a big struggle.
They had tried on and off to get sober, but Bobby Brown says Whitney just wouldn't stop using. And that in 2006, that's what ultimately led to the end of their 14 years of marriage.
She just wasn't ready to go that direction.
Newly divorced, Whitney Houston was in search of a comeback when she appeared on Good Morning America in 2009. It was her first televised performance in 7 years.
What has it meant for you to be back here on stage?
I'm overwhelmed. The love, the support.
A now grown-up Bobbi Kristina would make a rare public appearance singing with her mother.
Clap your hands.
But the celebration would not last.
Breaking news tonight, the death of singing star Whitney Houston at the age of 48.
Saturday afternoon, February 11th, 2012, Whitney Houston is discovered partially submerged in the bathtub of her Los Angeles hotel room.
3:55 p.m. this afternoon, Whitney Houston was pronounced dead.
According to the autopsy report, cocaine use contributed to Whitney's accidental drowning. In the aftermath of her death, Bobby Brown says the relationship with his daughter, already strained, worsened. The Brown family also believed Bobbi Kristina was being manipulated by another person, Nick Gordon. Gordon was rumored to be Whitney's adopted son. Bobbi Kristina called him her brother. After Whitney's death, the couple claimed to be much more.
I'm married, and we're fine. We're really very happy. He is my backbone.
There have been no legal documents to prove that the couple ever married. In 2014, Bobby and his daughter had just started to reconcile and met on Father's Day for an emotional reunion.
You hadn't seen each other in a while because you were a bit estranged.
Yeah.
You all hugged each other when you saw each other in the restaurant, and it's kind of like old times.
That was a special day.
Hi.
You guys look so happy. I love it. Dude, I love the daddy and me moment, yo. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Bobby says things were going so well that Bobbi Kristina decided to move to Los Angeles to be closer to him. But that move would never happen.
21-year-old female in the bathtub, face down.
On January 31st, 2015, just 2 days, he says, before his daughter was to head to L.A., she was found lifeless in a bathtub at her Georgia home.
She was found unresponsive.
She was rushed to the hospital yesterday.
Painfully reminiscent of her mother's death.
Reports label Bobbi Kristina's accident a mystery, but Bobby had his suspicions.
It's not a mystery to me. I know exactly what happened to my daughter. The same thing that happened to my daughter is what happened to Whitney. There's only one person that was around both occasions.
You won't say his name. Nick Gordon is who you're referring to.
I won't say his name.
For 6 months, Bobbi Kristina lay in a coma. Sadly, she passed away on July 26, 2015.
The last thing I told her, I just said, let go. I said, it's okay. You can go with your mom. Daddy will be all right.
Her official cause of death was lobar pneumonia due to drowning and a toxic cocktail of drugs in her system. She was buried alongside her mother.
If I had those 2 days back, I would have went and got her.
What 2 days are you referring to?
The 2 days before what happened to my daughter. She was to come out here to Los Angeles with me. If I can get those 2 days back. my daughter would be here. All I want is those 2 days back.
Although no criminal charges have been filed, Bobbi Brown has joined Bobbi Kristina's estate in filing a $10 million wrongful death civil suit against Nick Gordon. Nick Gordon's attorneys called the lawsuit meritless. They say Nick, too, is heartbroken and destroyed over the loss of Bobbi Kristina. ABC News reached out to the Houston family, but they would not comment. Today, Bobby is married to his manager, Alicia Etheridge Brown. They have 2 children and 1 on the way.
I'm going to show some pictures.
Oh, you got a beautiful home.
These are the pictures. Thank you so much. I'm happy now. Might be tears coming out of my eyes, but I'm very happy right now. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful kids, a beautiful chance to do something else great. God ain't finished with me yet.